Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee, and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today is going to be another one of our videos in the parameter series of videos I'm creating. So let's begin. Today we're going to talk about zip and postal codes. So let's go to Data, Company Parameters, and then Zip Postal Codes. Now this is where you're actually going to put in your zip, or if you're a Canadian customer, your postal code into the system. All right. If you're a Canadian customer, you will want to make sure to go into your general setup under your company parameters and set your country to Canada, because it will change whether how the software behaves as far as putting in zip postal codes. Now, of course, I'm in the U.S., so mine are set to the U.S. Zip codes. All right, when you want to add a new zip code, what you're going to do is you're going to hit New. You're going to type in that zip code, and again, it's going to be whatever areas they're going to be servicing. When you first start using the software, I'm sure in training, they told you your homework tonight is to enter all the zip codes that you service. Again, you can enter whatever zip codes you want in there, but you want to have them in there so that way when you add customers to the system, it's going to throw that information in there for you as far as city, state, and so on and so forth. But like I was saying, you put your zip code in, you put your city, you put your state. Now, there's two methods of putting in zip codes that I do in my training. I show them the first one is, let's say, 48035 or 25. Then you type in the name of the city. There we go, and then of course you type in the state, and then you have, if you want to put any tax codes in there, again, this is a tax code that would apply to anybody in the zip code. So maybe they have a Michigan tax, maybe they're in Wharton, county or something like that, and they also have the Wharton tax. Again, you're going to put those tax codes in there. You can also put an area code as well as a default route. Now again, this means that when you add the customer to the system, they're going to be getting this route by default. You can always change it if need be. If you have territory set up, you can also have it assign a territory, but you do need to have the company. So again, pretty much zip, city, state, and company is what you need. Everything else you fill in, it will automatically fill it in for you. You can also put in alternate cities. These alternate cities are going to be if you have a zip code that covers 2 cities or more. You're going to put in the alternate cities, and I think you can do up to 9 of them. Yeah, you can do up to 9 of them. So if you have a really, really large zip code that covers a lot of towns, you can put up to 9. Actually, it'll be a total of 10 because you got your first one there. So you can have up to 10 cities or towns in the same zip code. Now, if you have a city that has multiple zip codes, you do have to put in each separate zip code. I had a customer, or again, your guys are our customers. I had a training that I did, and they did it for, I think it was like Charlotte, North Carolina or something like that, and there was like 20 zip codes that covered just the one city, so they had to go and put in all 20 zip codes. So again, you'll see I put in the zip codes in the row, all right? Now, like I said, the other method I show is I show the column method. That's where you actually type in the zip codes, 2026, and then push the down arrow on my keyboard, 48027, and push the down arrow on my keyboard, 48028, down arrow, 48029. All right, now let's say these 4 zip codes, and I'm pretty sure they don't, cover Detroit, Michigan, okay? So what I can do now is I can type in Detroit. Then I can highlight Detroit. Oh, actually, might help if I spell it right. It's not Det Riot. Okay, so again, I can highlight the city name, push Control-C on my keyboard to copy, down arrow, Control-V to paste, down arrow, Control-V to paste, and then you can sit there and go like, go down the list, putting in those zip codes, and, putting in the city and this, putting in the city if it covers multiple ones. So again, if you have a city that has multiple zip codes, the column method is a little bit easier. And then once you get all those in, again, same method, type in Michigan, Control-C, down, Control-V, 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 boom, boom, boom. You can fill them out pretty quick. Now, unfortunately, you do have to hit the drop down of the company. And we'll do that. There we go. If you have a situation where you have multiple branches in the system, where you, let's say you have your lawn mowing as one branch, your fertilization as another, and your landscaping as another. You would have to go through and add each of those zip codes for each of those branches. Right now, the way the software is written, unfortunately, you can only have one zip code per branch unless you create duplicate zip codes in the system. So if I go on 48026 again, and you notice that was one of the ones I did before, I'd put in the same city, same state, and everything. But down here, I can then select it's a different branch. Because, again, unfortunately, right now, you can only assign one customer or one branch to a customer at this time. From my understanding, programming is working on trying to make it so you can do multiple branches, same customer. And the reason why it becomes a little bit of a hassle is because if you have a client that does services from all your branches, they would have to have a separate service account or separate account in the system for each of those branches. So again, they are working on trying to make it a little bit more friendly for multiple branches that do work out of the same physical location. All right. So once you got the information in there, now you can use it. Now, I want to show you here, going to go a little bit further on my demonstration than I normally do on parameters, because I'm actually going to show you how it works. When I go to create a new customer, and I do have a zip code I already put in, 48042, I actually set up the zip code with an alternate city. So when I put that in there, it's going to ask me, which city do I want to use? Do I want to use Macomb or Made-Upaville? Okay, so again, I can set the city I want to put in the system. So let's say they're in Macomb, and you'll notice that because I have the area code in there, it threw the area code in there. Because I have the tax code in there, it threw the tax code in there. So again, this is going to throw this information in there for me, but I didn't have a route set up as a default, so it didn't put it in the route. So like I was saying though, is you can go through and save yourself a lot of typing and stuff just by setting something up in parameters, and then that way, again, you're setting up something in one part of the system to make it so it affects another part of the system. So again, I hope that clarifies or helps a little bit with zip codes, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.